Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back with more of The Flash. And last episode, Barry, well, I wouldn't say, I guess he lost it, you know, because he gained a lot of intelligence, and basically kind of went thinker on us. The thinker, anyway. He's able to snap out of it because, he caused Iris to go through a seizure. And luckily and unluckily that happened because, we don't want Iris going through that because we don't know what's going on, what kind of damage that's causing. But she was at least able to pull Barry through or out of his, thinker phase. Unfortunately not before, taking out the team. I'm not sure how they're going to feel about that. Cisco knew that it wasn't him, that it was just because he... Well, my hair's all weird today. That it wasn't himself, basically because the whole emotionless thing with this new artificial speed force. I don't know if Barry's destroyed it or he's just temporarily turned it off. I don't know what that, there was that kind of like outward shooting electricity that was like silver and possibly the speed force leaving him, or there was like some weird feedback. And we got original Wells back, perhaps, minus Eobard. Hey buddy, no hard feelings? Except, Camilla's still in there and possibly dying.
Mary, help her. Iris. I remember everything. Hurting my own team. Forcing Iris through the portal, leaving Camilla and Singh trapped. I'm sorry.
That wasn't you.
Yeah, it was.
Man, no, it wasn't. You were not yourself. Trust me, we get that. That's why we're gonna put it behind us, and we're gonna move on, all right? We're a team. We've got each other's backs.
We're gonna figure out a way.
Okay, I'm so happy.
Whatever's happening out there, it's spreading.
Yeah, Eva's getting more powerful.
I'll say, I analyzed footage from Eva's live interview. It's not just mirrors that she's manipulating. It's any reflective surface now.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Light photons are elementary particles that exist everywhere in nature, so as long as there's light around from either natural or
Could you come through your eyeball?
artificial source.
Glasses?
We gotta black out the city. He can get
Ugh.
Nash.
No. My name is Harrison. Dr. Harrison Wells.
Huh? Wait, can you just like teleport now? Or transport that way?
I have a theory that when Nash and all the other Wells were removed from the timeline, the universe required
Balance?
a balancing act. One Wells to make up for all those lost. Isn't that cosmic?
Crisis. There was an event. It took people from other planets and brought them here together.
Look, anyone can save the world with their speed, with their might, but it takes a real hero. A once-in-a-lifetime hero. To do it with his heart.
What is that supposed to mean?
The paragon of love, brother.
Just run. Barry. Run. Toward love.
Joe,
Oh, they
You
didn't
may
know
as
that.
well give up, Captain.
That's right.
Joe?
Captain West requesting backup.
No one's coming, Captain.
Cecile, run!
Did they get everybody in the precinct?
The windows.
Sue? Ralph?
Holy plasma.
Oh.
Dibs, where's your face? It looks like
So
mashed
that's how they do
potato.
it.
Don't touch him.
Oh?
His body temp's a toasty 500 degrees.
Wait, you mean something actually melted the elongated man?
I may be the paragon of love, but that's only because you're my heart. Please, come back to me.
Oh!
I always wondered why I was chosen as the paragon of love and how it related to my speed. I think it's because of my connection with Iris. Our love is just as strong as the lightning bolt that hit me 7 years ago. Plus, Iris did have speed once.
And Nora was a speedster whose lightning was purple and yellow.
Man, this is so romantic.
If Speed Force energy is still in Iris, how do we get it out of her?
This is a huge gamble. Mr. Allen, if you're wrong about Iris, every atom in your body will be split in two.
Barry?
Iris?
Run towards love.
Can I give her all the speeches of her speed back?
We need you. We need you.
Oh. They just like jumpstart the Speed Force now?
I know you'd find your way back to me.
You'll always be my lightning rod. No!
Oh,
Hey!
Flash!
I'm back again!
You
Again.
made your choice.
No. No.
My children are taking over the world, and I'm their queen mother. And tonight I begin my reign as Mirror Monarch.
Actually, we're just getting started.
Odd name, but okay. Oh, jeez.
How you like the Sonics, milady? But wait, there's more.
Oh, it's so cool! And his outfit's sick. Oh, he looks so cool though. Alright, use your vibration, Cisco. Just shatter them. Do that and boom. That'd be cool. You should make that a thing. Although that would hit Barry and Cisco or Caitlin. When she's too fast, you make her hit herself. Yeah, that makes, ooh.
Let's do this.
Oh man, them locks, Cisco. Is he beating her with his gauntlet? Alright! Attaboy! That's kind of freaky. Whoa. What? That's cool, since when are you gonna do that? It's like lightning whip, pretty much. Huh, I was wondering if she could control it. That's interesting. She's gonna be able to do that forever?
Look around. Is this your idea of peace?
Yeah, it looks pretty peaceful to me.
The foundation for a better world is compassion, not violence. A true monarch knows that.
You still don't get to keep your name. You're going to be arrested. Help her, Iris. We must be one. Form Voltron. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Mary, you don't have mirror powers. I think Joe took a long time. You're gonna have to like. Oh, come on. Sing! Where's Camilla?
Chief Singh? Sir, what happened?
Mayor, actually.
I'm pretty sure we owe our lives to a certain speedster. And his better half.
Shh, you're not supposed to know. Quiet, Sing.
Joe?
Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna kiss you like there's no tomorrow. I love you, Camilla.
I love you too.
I'm pretty sure Eva took my mirror powers back with her when she left.
Maybe when she went back to the Mirrorverse and severed the link. Without it, no powers.
You sure you have to go? I heard Team Flash always has Wells.
Wow, that's overrated. Plus, Flash has his speed back.
This is weird.
No, we just met.
Right? It's like I barely even knew you.
Barely know each other.
I mean, you're nothing like him.
Like who? Oh.
Eobard Wells.
Harrison Wells you used to know.
Or the man I thought was Harrison Wells. Of course, he turned out to be a jerk.
Jerk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you miss someone you barely even know?
Like this.
Man. He's like a fifth dimensional being now. I guess he could technically show up anytime we need him.
Just like that.
But I don't know if that's the case.
We spoke to Captain West.
You know I love to lose myself to dance.
Baby, do not.
You love it.
Don't worry, Ralph. A few more days in the BCU and you'll be good as new.
Either way, it's good to have you back, Kate. For us too.
Okay, Wells, what did you see? What's going on? Did he sing Thawne? Uh-oh. Whoa! Green, blue, yellow, red. Huh? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nemetis? So, okay. Is that what Wells saw? Is that what he was watching? Like, cause he seems to, like, see others' futures or something. Like, whenever Cisco was saying that I hope that I can have what you have with her, and like he answered, you will, like he knows for sure. So can he just see everybody's future? I thought it makes sense that he could go to see their futures, but I don't know. I didn't know he could like see it. So he can just come and go. But I think that was like their way of actually like giving him I don't know, another set. I don't know. Like it was so that Cisco could have his goodbye with Wells. It might have been what that was for, because possibly maybe Carlos couldn't have been there, or he wasn't able to. Well, okay, like because I know they probably had filmed what happened with Nash before the pandemic thing. Maybe I'm not really sure. I think so, because I don't think Grant looked as big as he does now. Not here, because I don't think it showed up yet. But I just mean like at the now currently in time. But I don't think I didn't notice it. Excuse me. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Well, because the thing is, they had it planned for that. I don't know. I do think it was a way to kind of give Cisco, and because Caitlin isn't really there either, which is interesting. She didn't really go say goodbye to him. But I kind of feel like Cisco and Wells had a deeper relationship than original, well, not original, but Eobard Wells and Caitlin did, even though she had a close relationship with him as well. But he saw, like Wells saw, that Eobard saw Cisco as close to his son as possible, as he could ever see somebody. So maybe that's why. I still think that they would have had a goodbye as well, but yeah, I wonder if it's like supposed to be of significance with like the green, blue, red, and yellow lightning. Like I wonder if that's just like showing it going to other speedsters or making new speedsters, or their version, their new version of making more metas. Because not every season, but like there's every now and then they have their thing that makes new metas. Like the first one was obviously the particle accelerator. The next one was two people coming onto our Earth. Season 3 was that? What happened at the end of season 2? Well, season 2 at the end, Barry created new metas because of Flashpoint. Season 4 was the bus metas with the satellite, right? No, not the satellite. Like when he went into this, when there was the Speed Force storm, and that kind of was going on, I believe. Then yeah, season 5 was the satellite. Has it been every season? What happened at the end of season 5? I don't think season 6, the beginning of, I don't think there was like a source of new metas there. Up until midway, where Crisis changed everything, and that's when the new meta showed up to us. But in that world, they were already there, so it was kind of that form is that kind of a version of them making new metas, even though in their world it had always been that way because of Crisis. The first second there, whenever Wells did that, whenever he took his glasses off and kind of stared, I was worried. I don't know, the way they kind of focused on that seemed, I don't know whether it could have been ominous. Like, because again, he has the imprints and memories, bits of it anyway, of the other Wells. Even though Eobard isn't a Wells, like maybe I was wondering if that was kind of having an imprint on him as well, and he was, even though it did seem to have, because I mean, technically it was his DNA. Eobard was kind of a Wells, sort of. So maybe, but yeah, I wasn't sure if that was like maybe taking over. It's like, I could use that, but I don't think that's what that was, considering how they tied it off right there. And I get it, I mean, even though I wish that he would stay, because I mean that would be us having a Wells fight again. I don't want. Granted, he could just show up again, like anytime. Like maybe like I could technically go back and relive those 4 years and come back to this same moment in time and just keep doing that. I don't know. And like for him, he wouldn't see the others for 4 years. I wonder if he could change it. I don't know if I mean, there's again that whole weird timeline thing and changing the time. I don't know if he could, or if he would just live it out, or if it would just live out. Like with the way his works, maybe he can't change time, even though he might have affected time in this way, considering he helped Barry figure out an actual way to basically jumpstart the Speed Force. So I'm curious, did Nash even need? Well, it's weird because like technically Wells or Nash may not have even needed to sacrifice himself. Like they could have created this or restarted the Speed Force, because as they said, like it's something that can't ever really be destroyed. It's always an element in the universe. But like they maybe wouldn't have been able to jumpstart it if the original Wells hadn't been brought back, because the universe apparently needs a balance, which is interesting because that was kind of stated by some people that I think even someone mentioned it in the comments from last week's episode that the universe might need a balance. So that it seems that was the case. There was the smallest of fractions of the molecules that remained and that went, and the universe is like, we need you to go here, the rest can go here. This little bit will just kind of put a little seed, bring back the original one to kind of balance the universe, because there needs to be a Wells in the world, in the universe, I guess. I don't know, and I am glad that like the original Wells at least gets to live his life with his wife, right? Or was it actually his wife, not fiance? So they were married, I think. Man, I don't know. It just, because they're not using the artificial Speed Force anymore, technically, right? Like they jump started the Speed Force. Is what I'm assuming. Oh, because even Chester's like, there's no A in this SF. It's just this. It's the Speed Force now. It's no artificial. I was thinking that they were gonna like implement, like, instead of using whatever they use to basically have no emotion instead of a negative emotion, that they were gonna like implement a positive emotion like love, which that's not what they did. Well, it kind of technically is. Like it was kind of what their jumpstart. It was the connection shared between Iris and Barry, which I kind of like, honestly. And considering he was a fraction of his ability was kind of shared with her whenever it's switched. Like, he didn't have it at all, right? And she did. Like, it was it was in season 4, I believe, where that happened. I don't remember if like he had portions of it, or a portion of it, and she had the other, or she just had it all. I think she just had it all. What I might be thinking of what happened in Smallville, where Lana and Clark had not similar, but a situation that happened, and that some of his power went to her. But anyway, so Eva's done with. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about how that happened. Technically defeat her. They've changed her, and it seemed kind of at first glance it kind of seems sudden and unearned, which it thinking about it, it still does kind of seem unearned. Shouldn't necessarily show any inclination to be different. I know she stated that she wanted help. She wanted to make the world better. And the original Eva, like, she has aspects of the original Eva, and being in the mirror world kind of messed with this mirror Eva's mind, maybe? I don't know, because like the mirrors, I don't think that they get affected by the mirror world. So something else was going on there. Or maybe it was just like how Eva, how the fact that maybe it was the first creation and how it was created, it was kind of affected the mental state of the mirror Eva. I don't know. But the original Eva wanted to help people. So that is carried over. It just kind of got muddled by the cracked psyche of Mirror One. It's interesting how they chose to handle it. But prior to that, I thought it was so cool with Cisco coming in as Vibe. With I don't know a whole lot about Vibe. I don't remember if his whole deal was powers originally or if it was based on tech. Either way, the new edition looked really cool. Like, he had the original goggles, and I don't know for sure if he had the original jacket on, but he had something over it. He definitely had new gauntlets, which kind of went out in the middle of the fight, but they went on for quite a bit. And Cisco did pretty good, hand to hand. All things, I mean, he doesn't really do hand to hand very often, but he did pretty good. Him and Frost, which, I mean, she has a little more experience with that than Cisco does, and so I just thought that was impressive on his own. That was funny that he beat somebody with his gauntlet. Not punching them with the gauntlet, like taking it off and just like just beating him across the face. But I thought it was a really cool entrance. And just cool seeing Cisco like that. And I'm hoping that's kind of going to be a thing that we get more of that. Maybe that's like the show kind of recorrecting without just giving him his powers back. Like he's decided that this is okay, you know? He's not the exact same, but maybe he's reconsidered the whole powers thing. Like he wants to be able to protect those he loves. And since he doesn't have his powers, this is the next best thing. Although, with the whole weird thing with the Speed Force stuff going on, maybe I doubt that they would go about this way, but it was weird. Like, maybe he would regain his abilities since they're not latent, per se, but that they've had it to begin with. I don't know. Just an interesting thought. I don't know how I feel about... No, I do. I felt really weird about the Ralph thing. Like, I get it. I know we can't have the actor back. It just has to feel awkward, you know, initially doing it. I mean, they're gonna get used to it, and I'm sure the new actor, whoever they choose, if they haven't chosen him yet, because I feel like that might have been the case of not having chosen him yet. Like he's still having this thing while his face is healing and everything. And the modulated voice that maybe it was somebody from the crew or it was the actor they had chosen, but I don't know. I feel like choosing to show the face, maybe that was them going. We haven't quite found the replacement yet. I mean, yeah, initially, and then saying those lines, I don't know how that has to. I don't know how that feels, because I know that they feel a certain way towards the actor who they had seen as a friend, and however they're feeling right now about the whole thing. No matter which way they feel about it, that still has to feel kind of weird, you know. I don't know. It's touchy. It's a touchy subject, but I mean, they had to address it eventually. And man, that sucked. It just freaking melted his face. Jesus. But they really clear Sue. They're gonna go take on some of the what remains of the organization. I don't know. Obviously, they're Ralph saying that he'll show up when you least expect it. That's kind of their way. He'll be back. Just whenever we find the replacement. I think there was a cute scene with them finally being back together, and Barry does that little jig, and I was just like, don't do that, stop. I don't know, I love that they're finally back together, and there was just kind of a goofy, cute moment that she was like, oh God. Now I'm gonna look up again to see if Tom Cavanaugh's gone for good. Okay, didn't see anything. It was all from when the premiere of this season is all they're talking about. So I haven't seen anything of this yet, except from the last one. It was just like a yes and no. So again, it'll show up every now and then, maybe. Maybe when he feels like they'll need him. They technically show up at any point in time. So I don't know, man. I just wish I just don't want to not see Tom Cavanaugh very often. I just gotta go back and watch the past seasons. I wasn't, I don't know about worried, but I was hesitant, I guess, about Iris having powers a little bit. Because I don't know. The issue is having too many powers on the team. Even though there's technically only two, but the fact that Barry can run fast and he should be able to stop. I don't know. If they were to do it well, then I wouldn't mind it. It's just the beginnings with Cecile was kind of weird whenever she first got her abilities. Now it's a little more it's more empathic, and now it's got even more of a boost where she can where she can overwhelm somebody with an emotion. But that seems to not be the case with Eva going that like took the abilities with her. So that's kind of them shutting that down. But yeah, I was hesitant. I wasn't, not that I didn't like it. I was hesitant just because of how worried how they would write it, and if that could go into them writing themselves into a corner, possibly. I don't know. Dude, that bit where Barry was fighting the small army on the roof, and he freaking used lightning whips. Never seen him use that before. That was cool. I don't know how often he can do that. I feel like he should be able to do that more often. Obviously, it was kind of like at the heat of the moment, and like he needed to, considering these people can apparently move faster than him, which is interesting. He needed something to take them all out or something. So I doubt that that's going to happen often, but either way, it was still cool. I'm still not sure how I feel about her being faster. I mean, granted, it doesn't matter now; she's gone. But I don't know. Speed of light, and then being able to go so fast that you can travel through time. I feel like would. I don't know. I'm not a science genius or anything, so I could be very wrong. It seems strange. It was more so kind of like how to level the playing field sort of a thing without taking his powers away again. I also don't know about Eva getting away. I mean, she's technically dead. So it's not the actual Eva, but I still feel like maybe she should have been arrested, even though it doesn't really do her. Like, she'd probably, I don't know. What would happen if she was power dampened? Because I mean, she's not a real. She's not the original. I don't know if that would affect her, like if she would shatter if she had power dampeners on, or if she just would be like a normal person. I don't know. I feel like she got off scot-free a bit, in a way. Like, she's going back to the mirror world to start over. I mean, I'm glad she's, seeing the error of her ways and, not taking over the world. It just seems strange that she caused this, like, mayhem, bunch of damage, terrorized the city, and she's just going to live peacefully in her new city / world, really. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much on it. I am glad that they kind of brought forth the Paragon of Love thing, because it hasn't really been mentioned since the Crisis, and that it was kind of what was like how it lends to his abilities and why he was essentially chosen as the Paragon of Love, and then it led to his abilities being brought back and the Speed Force, like basically his love, his connection is what started the Speed Force, and I kind of like that, honestly. Like, it kind of sounds a bit corny, but I don't mind it. I don't know. It just I like that was kind of what jumpstarted. It's and the fact that the Speed Force isn't necessarily, it can't really be dead. It's just dormant, and what's the word? Even if there's I'm trying to how to explain it. Like, for the only thing I can think of is like Lobo. For those that know Lobo, if there's even a little bit left of him somewhere, he'll grow up into a new Lobo. He's a DC character. For those that don't know, I don't check it out. Lobo. Just in case you didn't hear what I said because I was talking too fast. I feel like maybe it was kind of like that. Like, if there's even a smallest bit of fraction, or like it'll always exist somewhere in the universe, and it just kind of like needs something to just give it that like that jump. Like it'll always be around for something to give it life, if you will. I do okay. I'm glad they didn't make it like a thing. Even though I wouldn't have blamed them if they did, because I mean he did kind of take him out, and he put Camilla and Singh at risk of dying. But I love that Cisco was like, it wasn't you. We we understand. I don't know what if he meant why he meant we, or like when considering I don't think he's had any kind of control issues. I don't believe. I'm trying to remember. Frost obviously has. I don't know if he was meaning more like we've dealt with Frost. It wasn't her, or it wasn't Caitlyn. It was an issue that we've dealt with before. We know when something kind of mentally takes over, and I get it, or we get it. We got your back. I love that. It kind of got me a little emotional. I was like, oh, dude, God, bro. I love that. I love that they didn't over dramatize or spend too much time on it, or because they could have. I mean, they would have had every right. They would have had reasoning to be upset with him, considering. But I'm glad that they weren't, and that they didn't go that way in terms of writing. They kind of just knocked that out right off the bat. It's like, no, dude, we're fine. We understand and we got you. I'm still curious about the whole anything reflective, because I mean, there's the eyeball. Could she come from an eyeball? I would assume that it could be very painful and creepy as all get out. You just see like arms just sprout from your eyeball. Ugh, god dang. I wonder if that would, because you see like the ripple on the reflective surface. I wonder if it has to be like. I'm wondering what the limits of that is, because I mean, an eyeball's reflective. You can see a silhouette of a clear reflection in your eye. And that's kind of what some mirrors like you don't see the perfect reflection. Glasses, and maybe it has to be a big enough surface for it. Like maybe the arm can't fit through it. I don't know. It's a malleable object, I would think. But I don't know. I don't know if it would matter how small the surface is, but maybe it is. That was just what came to mind immediately whenever, just like when they were stating that she can use any reflective surface. I'm like, any? Hold on. So earlier I was saying how crazy of a world it'd be. Like Wells just shows up and coming back from the dead, and this is the world he's come back to, where there are countless, or there's people with abilities now beyond he could have imagined. Maybe I don't know because he was still a genius. I don't know what his thought the particle accelerator would have done. There's this lady Eva creating a mirror army. Little did I know, he has the collective memories and imprints of all the Wells, and he can travel through time. So that kind of threw that out the window. I did kind of like the moment that Wells and Barry had, even though it's not technically him. Like that Wells was sort of like the one that Barry wanted to meet when he was like before he even got his abilities. That was the one he looked up to. That was the one that Eobard embodied. And it was kind of a nice moment, because again, it's strange with the whole Eobard thing, with what memories he has imprinted from the Wells, if he has those memories as well or not. I mean, it sounds like he did, considering what the conversation he had with Cisco. It's like, yeah, he was kind of a jerk. Like he has a vague memory. Like maybe that one's a little muddled because it's him and not him at the same time. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting. Like I was wondering how they were gonna have like that kind of connection with him, like that kind of emotional connection. And then it's like, well, here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna give him the memories and again the imprints of the team has had on all of the Wells. That's how we're gonna do it. He still was, he wasn't like overwhelmed by these emotions or anything, or like taken over. He was still his own Wells. But he understood and he connected with the emotions. He wasn't like consumed by them. They didn't override his emotions, but he was connected to them. He didn't just like wall them off. So it wasn't as close with them as the original Harry/Eobard Wells or any of the other Wells were when they got to know them, but he was open to them and warmer to them than a stranger would have been. So I kind of like the way they did that, even and I'm sad that it's gone. But what are you gonna do? I mean, when you have the ability to be with your loved one that died and you survived, technically, kind of, you want to go back and live the time you have with them over and over again. I'm still wondering if you could do something to change that, but yeah, this is kind of sort of a fresh start now. We've gotten rid of the villain, sort of. It was Eva. We still have. I'm assuming they're still wanting to do something with Ramsey, so maybe they'll do something with that. I think I saw something with Godspeed in a trailer, because we still haven't technically dealt with him like the original one. They kept sending copies, which was weird. We never really dealt with that issue. Let's see. And I'm wondering, was he still a thing after Crisis? I'm trying to remember. I can't. Someone let me know if he was. I don't recall. Yeah, we don't. Again, and there's the what was going on with the Speed Force going everywhere. So, because last time there was like a Speed Force explosion, if you will, there were other metas that came to be. So, we're assuming they're going to be dealing with that again, getting back to an old form, sort of. Obviously, there's probably going to be something different about it. I'm assuming that Ramsey's going to come back. I mean, I'm interested to see him again because I liked him in terms of like the villains. He was a very interesting villain to have. He felt like he wanted to help, but then it kind of the desire to live and sort of took over. But I guess we'll see next week. But for now, guys, that is it for this week's episode of The Flash. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see any of our catch-up series that we have going on, currently just one, hopefully more soon, you can check out our Patreon where you get access to all the early access for that, and possibly polls in the future. Who knows?